If you're looking for a place to buy or sell your FIFA 23 Ultimate Team coins, check out u4gm.com as a reliable place to do so and use code ELYT, ELYYT, for 5% off at checkout. Why always me? Mario Balotelli is coming as a flashback squad building challenge to FIFA 23 Ultimate Team. And that's not the only flashback SBC that I'm going to show you during this video. But before we get into talking about his complementary links, we have to talk about this bubble that is kind of already popped, but is starting to recover on the market. We just have a very inflated market post Team of the Year. Let's put it at that. Everything has been going up. And I think that that is a pretty good sign when it comes to the health of the market. I think that when we're looking at a market where players like Capdevila, a hero card, is actually rising in price at this point in the game, it's a good thing. 830K, and it has only gone up over time. I think generally that's probably a good sign with how many different cards get released into the game. Now, this could be one of two things, though. It could mean, one, these cards are lasting, and they actually have value in the game for more than a couple of weeks. That's obviously great. But it also means that the current promo cards that are coming out are not that good, and they're not replacing the cards you already have out in the game. So it's kind of a mixture of both of those. One is great, one not so great, but overall, I can't complain. And we're looking at a very healthy market that just keeps on going up. And we saw just 2 days ago how this new squad building challenge, the 89 plus FIFA World Cup or Prime Icon upgrade, has crashed the market just momentarily. But a lot of cards on the market took a 30-40% drop just in a few hours due to the release of that SBC, along with a couple of other upgrade SBCs like the 84 plus ×5. And then, of course, you also have the Future Stars Academy upgrade, which gives you an 82 plus player pick of 3 cards. So all of those coming out around the same time definitely caused a crash on the market. And it actually killed one of our investments, at least for the time being, which was Vitinha. We invested in Future Stars Team 1 Vitinha, and that Vitinha card, still one of the more popular cards on the market, maybe not in the top 30 currently, but still has value. Now, I didn't panic sell this Vitinha, but I'm definitely not making as many coins as I was hoping to. I'm actually losing about 30K per card right now, and I have like 10 of them. I'm losing 300,000 coins, but if I had sold during that panic, I would have lost a lot more. He got down to as low as about 200,000 coins, 213K right there, and he has recovered up to nearly 250,000 coins, making most of our losses back. Now, if you guys watched our last upload looking at the Vitinha investment and you didn't see it within the first couple of hours, well, you might have gotten lucky and gotten in at that premium price because we bought right about there. Not great timing on that, as we saw a very big market crash for lots of different cards. I mean, we can take a look at so many examples, but cards that have been out for so long even came crashing down. Kim Min-jae is another example of it, and you can see it right there going from 89K, which is what he kind of was sitting at over the course of the last few weeks. But then we saw Osimhen as an SBC come out. A lot of people invested in that card, and I think that contributed to the big drop in price, going all the way down to about 55,000 coins on average for the past couple of days, and his lowest point going down at about 50K. So he's back up to about 60,000 coins and recovering, but we're seeing the same trend for a lot of different cards. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this Balotelli SBC. He plays for FC Sion, and FC Sion is in the Swiss League. If you guys didn't know, he made that transfer from the French League and OGC Nice over to FC Sion. And there isn't really any links in this league. There's no hero cards, there's no icons, there's not even really any promo cards that you can link this Balotelli to. Now, they could start dropping them in the future, and what we saw with Gareth Bale is they dropped him as an LAFC right wing card, super good value, but couldn't link with anything other than that Chiellini card who went extinct. And yeah, you've got a couple other cards like Ocampos or Campos in goal, Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey. But overall, it was really hard to get that Gareth Bale in people's starting lineups. So it's going to be the same thing for Balotelli, but then they dropped that Vela SBC. So Maybe they're going to do the same thing with a teammate of Mario Balotelli, but overall, I'm seeing a minimal increase on Italian icons, Italian hero cards, but nothing that I'm going to be investing in. I don't think that this card is going to affect the market too much. And if we take a look at just links to Balotelli, the only inform that really is usable in their league is actually Marvin Hitz, the goalkeeper, and it's a weak link, just a league link without being a country link or a club link. But then we have Sebastian Haller. A little bit easier to get into people's squads. You might say, well, Cote d'Ivoire is also not a great country to link, and that might be true. But we also have to think about the fact that they've got a couple of Cote d'Ivoire SBCs that have come out in the last couple of months that people have gone out and done. The first being Eric Bailly from Ligue 1. And that card went into a lot of people's teams, including mine. And then Seko Fofana came out during Team of the Year as a Team of the Year honorable mention SBC, and a lot of people did that one as well. So this being the third Cote d'Ivoire player that has gotten an SBC, maybe of good value, we could see people start to use that as a country link, because once you do add the third player from the Ivory Coast into your team, then it will give you one more chemistry. So if you just add a player possibly from Bundesliga or from Dortmund, you can get another link right there, and then the manager can be the third link. So it's definitely possible that people will get this Haller and then buy a link from Dortmund. Now, if we take a look at this squad builder, we can see that these are the three cards that I think people will be building around if this Haller SBC is good value. And so we're going to look at the links here. And of course, you've got players like the Nuno Tavares, who is out right now, which links to the Bailly, and you've got Payet and all of that. But realistically, we're looking more at players like Pepe here, because he gets the link through Ligue 1, but he also gets the link through Cote d'Ivoire. So I think that Pepe card could be a card that we're looking at. And then on top of that, we've also got Wilfried Zaha, who's not popping up right there, but a usable left wing card if people have Prem teams and want to fit Haller into their team, maybe on just 2 chemistry. So that could be a way to go. If we take a look at the other positions, we don't really find too many players from Cote d'Ivoire that are really usable. But of course, we've got the Bellingham link that could be a great club link to Haller. But given the fact that Bellingham is so expensive and kind of in a different budget as Haller, I'm not seeing a card with 82 pace. Even if the shooting, dribbling, and physicality are all great, that physicality at 99 is going to be very tempting. But a card with 82 pace at this point in the game, is it going to fit into a squad with people who have Jude Bellingham as a team of the year? Probably not so much. I don't see people going out doing Haller and getting Jude Bellingham to build around Haller. It's kind of backwards in that sense. So I don't think that this Sebastian Haller is going to have too much of an impact on the market, but we could see in general those Cote d'Ivoirian links that are usable, like Pepe, like Zaha, and we'll probably see people throwing Fofana and Bailly back into their teams. Now, we're looking at a market that is very, very inflated. We're seeing cards like Capdevila, who has been out in the game for so long. Capdevila, his card is, it came out in December. Am I wrong about that? December? No, late or mid-November, this card came out. Started at 220,000 coins, rose all the way up to 500K once people realized he's actually pretty meta, and then dropped momentarily there. We've got some, Christmas-related content, Winter Wild cards, and then post-Team of the Year is where we're seeing a huge rise. He's continuing to go up. This is just an example. This is not unique to just Capdevila. So many cards are doing a very similar thing. Capdevila, for example, up to 830K now. We are looking at a bubble that is bound to pop. And with the release of the 89 rated SBC, the 89 plus SBC for FIFA World Cup and Prime Icons, have actually given us a little bit of a scare. We saw a big drop of about 30 to 40% just for a few hours on a lot of cards that were relevant in the game. Anything that had been even minorly invested in had hit the fan, including one of our investments, Vitinha. Vitinha was an investment that I thought and still think is a good investment just due to his links and being so relevant to the PSG cards and Portugal, so common here. He's about 243,000 coins right now, and we invested at 260, and I'll show you exactly when we invested on the graph here. We invested right about there. Not the greatest timing on that, because that is when the market took a huge crash and went down all the way to 215,000 coins, and that's the average for the hour. Could have been even lower, 210, 205. I saw a lot of people on my timeline saying, this Vitinha investment, you showed it on your video today, and now it's even cheaper. I'm buying a ton of them. And if that was one of you, congratulations. You timed it perfectly. Not so much for me. I timed it very poorly. I was in just a few hours early, and that card plummeted. But as you guys can see, this card and many of the cards that dropped, but especially Vitinha, has been recovering quickly. Every few hours, it seems to have risen another 10,000 coins, and it's up to 243. I assume it'll probably be over 250 tomorrow, maybe 260 the next day, and then we're going to start looking at least covering our losses and not losing anything. That's my hope, but maybe we can even end up making a profit even though we bought at a disastrous time. So not always are we going to take a dub on these investments, and unfortunately Vitinha was an example of that. But if you take a look at the cards that are the most relevant in the game right now, Vitinha is still on the first page. Despite the fact that his promo ended last Friday on team number 1, he is still on the first page as one of the most looked at cards on Futbin, and so probably one of the most desired cards, one of the cards most in demand for people's teams. You got to think people that are completing the Nuno Tavares objective as they complete the 82 rated player pick SBC 50 times will get the Nuno Tavares, and a great link to that is the Portuguese player from the same league right there in Vitinha. Anybody who's got that Sergio Ramos SBC, completing that, or getting the Hakimi Team of the Week card in their red player picks, all of that just points to get Vitinha in your squad, because the value there, much better than that of Renato Sanchez's ones to watch, definitely more affordable, definitely a card that I think fits into people's teams easily, and that's why we did it. So I'm doubling down. Yes, we bought at a bad time, but I still think that's a card I'm going to hold. I'm not panic selling. I didn't panic sell. It's worked out for me so far. I'm going to keep holding. We're going to see what happens. We're going to ride this baby out. Got a couple of packs here to open. We've gotten out of a couple of different objectives that I want to remind you guys to complete, because you only have a few more hours right now to complete the first owner Fiesta. Yeah, it's a very, very annoying one. You need to win 7 games out of 15. I think I need to win 3 more out of my next 5. So I'm cutting it close, but it is going to expire today at 6 p.m. UK. So if you want to complete those games, you do get another player token for FUT Future Stars. So that is something that I wanted to remind you guys of right now. And of course, try to complete all of the daily SBCs, because those are the easiest ones to get. And a good tracker that I like to use is on MoreFut. This is a website that I have cited many times in my videos. It doesn't update completely accurately for leaks and all of that, but for the tokens, it seems to have been pretty accurate. And as you guys can see, we have already seen about 10 of these, 14 of these tokens expire. Now, I've already submitted 12 of them into different swap tokens. I think I have 8 or 9 of them, so I need about 6 or 7 more to get an 85 plus times 10 pack. But as you guys can see, the first owner Fiesta objective expires today. The Silver Stars objective expires tomorrow for both Fur and Scylla. And then you've got the marquee matchups that you need to complete before Thursday right there. And then, of course, you've got the 500 FIFA point packs that I stay away from. But if that's something you do, I ain't going to judge. I am going to judge. That is... I am totally judging you if you're spending 500 FIFA points just to get a swap token. The next promo after FUT Future Stars, I haven't seen a lot of talk about it yet, but it should be coming on Friday, and I assume that more information is going to be coming out and leaked over the next 24 hours, and I'll make sure to upload another video on that once we get more information, but it's going to be Road to the Finals. Now, we saw Road to the Knockout at the beginning of the Champions League campaign before group stage, and of course, that ended after the group stage, which I don't personally agree with. I think that they should have those cards continue to get upgraded throughout the Champions League and then just add more cards for Road to the Final, because that way the Road to the Knockout cards don't become irrelevant, kind of like they have become. So that's my take on it, but we are going to see Road to the Final. And here are some of the cards that have been speculated upon on Twitter. Of course, you've got Hernandez, annual expected card. I don't think that there's any basis to any of these. Now, you've got one right here. Weghorst is set to come via Road to the Finals. Stats are made up, but it's sourced. I don't believe it either. I really have no, there's no evidence that this is actually going to be released as one of the cards, but it's definitely an exciting card. I wouldn't be totally surprised to see Weghorst get the card, given the fact that he got that exciting transfer to Manchester United, getting the Europa League upgrade card here. Then we've got another one leaked by the same guy, RTTF Reece James. And all of these have come out today. So realistically, it could be real, but I don't have any confirmation on them as of yet. You've got a prediction right here where you've got the likes of João Felix, Kevin Trapp, Hazard, Gakpo, Akanji, Mukiele, Grimaldo, Sancho. Pretty cool cards overall. I'm excited for the promo, but it's not the promo that's going to have a completely huge impact on the market. The promo that's going to change the game is going to be FUT Birthday. I think that FUT Birthday, they're going to juice so many cards to 5-star, 5-star. We're going to see a lot of cards fall behind the power curve finally, and that's when we see the bubble eventually pop. That's when all of these inflated prices start to come down, because you've got a combination of a huge promo with absolutely insane cards with FUT Birthday on top of the looming presence of Team of the Season coming maybe just a month afterwards. So at the beginning to middle of March, we will see FUT Birthday. And then at the beginning to middle of April, we're going to start to see the beginning of Team of the Season. And it's kind of crazy to think about how close we are to both of those. We've only got a few more weeks of normalcy, so enjoy it while you can, and make sure that if you have any really expensive cards that aren't going to be fitting the meta or power curve in the next month or so, that you should probably sell them soon. Now, I want to elaborate on that because that might have been a very confusing sentence. I'm talking the cards that are like just good enough to make your squad right now. Just good enough to be in your starting 11. Or cards that might only have 4-star, 4-star that are going to get replaced by cards that come out during FUT Birthday. Cards that have a couple of 90+ stats, but once Team of the Season rolls around, they're going to be outdated. I'm not talking about Prime R9. I'm not talking about Team of the Season Mbappe. I'm really not talking about those cards. Sure, they could move a little bit. I'm talking about the medium range cards that are just getting into your teams. A card like Jorginho, if it was tradable. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but if I look at this Jorginho card right here, a card that's usable right now, no doubt. A card that people have in their squads right now. This card will be used in just SBC fodder here in that time frame. So I don't think that cards that look like this are great to hold on to going into FUT Birthday. So enjoy your couple weeks of normalcy, because we've already seen the bubble pop just for a few hours after the release of that SBC. Imagine what a real promo could do to the prices that have been inflated so much post Team of the Year. And that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you made it to the end of the video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Bye. That's going to be your secret comment word of the day. So if you've made it this far, comment that down below. I'll make sure to drop a heart on it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.